Hi, I'm Stephen Moore from Moore Legal Technology. We're a company that specialises in generating business online for professional services companies and internet marketing. And at the beginning of this year, we wrote a brief blog post detailing our top tips for 2012. One of the first ones of these top tips, which you'll find on our website, was to think a bit more like an octopus. What we're really getting at is how we represent our internet marketing strategy for our customers. The idea really is that the website should be the head of the octopus with a number of tentacles reaching off elsewhere. At the center should be your control panel, which is really the octopus's head, and the tentacles are made up of elements relating to design, search engine optimization, social media, and content. Taking the first element, the website, is the most important. That should be your control panel. If you get that wrong, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to achieve any of the other objectives. The first element we look at when designing a website is design. The key priority here is to ensure that you're absolutely crystal clear about your objectives. What is it that you actually want customers to do? Design for the web or for internet marketing is not about pretty pictures. It is about your business objectives, and if you don't define them clearly, your design won't be right. We thought it might be useful to preface or to intercut our discussion with a diagram which shows the internet marketing strategy of most firms when I first started. It looks a lot more straightforward. Simply website, which was static, brochure based, about the firm, contact details, and if some were getting a bit more advanced, they would also have some e-coms, some electronic bulletins. The next element, and some of these we're going through them in no real order of priority or importance, they should just all work together from the center. The next element is, how is your website going to present to search? There are a number of implications in terms of the decisions you make when choosing a content management system, which will have an implication on search. Firstly, you must work out, are people searching for your services? Are they using the terms that you use to describe them? If not, change it. Is there a sufficient volume there, or should you be thinking of something else? Search, when we talk about search, we're really meaning Google, Bing, and Yahoo. The third element that we're looking at a lot at the moment is mobile. There was a recent study sponsored by Google, which indicated that the web economy is set to double by 2016, with by far the biggest growth coming from access to the internet via smartphones. The way that we approach things is to look much more at responsive web design. This means that we design your website once, and it resizes itself automatically depending on the type of device. Once you begin to have your site together, which should be after the design, search and mobile phase, you then really have to think about ongoing content. There is nothing more off-putting for a potential customer than arriving at a site and seeing that the news has last been updated in 2010. Ongoing content is critical. It also helps with designing more search, more interaction via mobile devices. Moving over to the side here, one of the biggest changes in internet marketing at the end of 2011, beginning of 2012, has been Google's renewed focus on Google+. Some commentators are effectively saying that Google is becoming Google+. Google+ is Google's own social network, and what has changed is that the results from Google+ are going to be given more prominence over organic search engine rankings. So a key component of your online marketing strategy has to be how you are going to engage on Google+. The three elements at the top, just so that we can make it out to 8 legs, are LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. These are the social media channels which have the greatest prominence currently, although they are subject to change. Our objective with each of these, which is, say, tentacles, or each of these areas, is to drive traffic back to your website. Your website, if designed correctly, should be set up in such a way so that It drives all these visitors to carry out a specific action once they arrive at your site. What we're really hoping for is via these channels that you reach a much broader audience with your content. The objective with all of them based around your website is to drive as much traffic as possible back to here. Here is where you are in control. You have your calls to action set up, you're encouraging people to do what they want to do, you're tracking your visits coming from each of these areas, and what you should end up with is a finely tuned machine or a finely tuned octopus.